he probably doesn't really care what couches I have in my house, but I still felt like, it was like, this could have been way more stressful. It could have been really, and that's a big purchase, and that's a lot of money, and there's so many things could have gone wrong. And I was just thinking, it's one of those moments where I was thinking, yesterday, if things had worked out the way I wanted, the internet, if the checkout process with this other store had worked out, I would have already bought couches, and they would have been less than what I really wanted. They were just all I could do. I hadn't really convinced myself that I could afford anything more, and they were kind of the bare minimum, that they were whatever. And I would have already had them, and then I would have already bought them, and I wouldn't get them for weeks because I would have had them, and it would have just been, it'd have been okay. But then it didn't work. Like I went to check out, it didn't work. Literally, it was just like, cannot be done. And it never worked out. I even called the people, we never could get it worked out. And then days later, Mom was like, hey, stop trying to figure the checkout because I think I found better couches. And she did. And we went and picked them up yesterday. It took a matter of hours, trying my way back, and now they're really nice. And that's a really silly thing to be excited about because it's just couches. But still, it was a good reminder that it really doesn't matter if this whole process isn't going the way I want it to. Because it's all going to be fine anyways. I laugh there because, whenever you're really stressed and somebody tells you it's going to be all right, just calm down. And there's a post on Facebook that says, never in the history of calming down has anyone ever calmed down by being told to calm down. It's just never happened. Well, I was laughing because, I was really stressing, and we were getting a trailer, and we were going to get these couches, and I just knew something was going to go wrong. And my father-in-law, who is seriously one of the best father-in-laws ever. I don't know about your father-in-law, but mine's the best. And or except Eric's. Eric's is pretty good too. I wasn't thinking about it. But as far as father-in-law go, he's definitely second best. Because he's not here right now. So he was like, you know what, Catherine, it's gonna be okay. Don't worry about it, it's gonna be okay. And I was just like, it's fine, it's okay, it's gonna be okay, it's fine. Getting in the car, I was just trying to get out of there. Because I was like, it's not gonna be okay. It was okay, as it turned out. It was okay. But I was thinking about, that idea of everything kind of going wrong, because how many times have you just been like, it's because it's me. It's me. Everything's wrong because it's me. It's because if I wasn't in the room, it would have gone right. If I would just leave, then I would take the bad juju with me, and everything would go fine. I've thought it many a time in my life. Oh my gosh, yeah. So many times. Right, I know, because I think I get it from him. So he passed the bad juju on to me, so now we're both bad luck. We're in the room together right now. There's no telling. So it's in Matthew chapter 8. This bad things also happen to disciples, which, by the way, bad things happen to them all the time. But there's one moment. In Matthew 8 and Luke 8, but in Mark 4, it's weird. There's a storm and Jesus calms it, and I know you remember that. So I'm going to read the Matthew one. They're pretty much all the same. It says, then he got into the boat, and his disciples followed him. Suddenly a furious storm. Furious. That's impressive. Storm came up on the lake so that the waves swept over the boat, but Jesus was sleeping. The disciples went and woke him, saying, Lord, save us, we're going to drown. He replied, you of little faith, why are you so afraid? Then he got up, rebuked the winds and waves, and it was completely calm. The men were amazed and asked, what kind of man is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him. I just love that. I just love that story. Even the winds and the waves obey him. That just gives me chills. Okay, but the Mark one is actually, I really relate to that one more, the way Mark puts it. Everything's the same, except, and Dad and Esme know the difference. Everything is exactly the same in Matthew and Luke, pretty much, almost word for word. But in Mark, they don't just say, Lord, come save us. They say, what? Are you just going to sleep while we were just drowning? What are you doing? You were just going to let us drown? You weren't even going to save us? You didn't even worry? You just sleeping through it? First of all, I really relate to Jesus in that moment because I would have been able to sleep through a storm, I think. I think I have that ability. Eric would have been the disciple waking up. Like, what, you're just going to sleep through it? We've had hurricanes, thunderstorms, tornadoes, people's houses are destroyed. And I didn't even know it was happening because I've slept through it all. And Eric's like, man, it was crazy last night. Like, there's the lightning every now and then. And I was like, oh, it's great. I didn't get my brain. save us. You ain't gonna do anything bad. You're just gonna be chill. You're just gonna let us drown. And then he says, you little faith. Of course I wasn't gonna let you drown. But like, that's the prime example of we blew it out of proportion a little bit. Now, I'm not saying the storm, it was clearly a furious storm. But also, first of all, you can tell when a storm's coming, usually. So you could have woken him earlier. You were just clearly trying to do it yourself. And then when you were like to the point where you just really knew we're in big trouble, that's when you went to wake up the big guns. Right? We need the big guns now. But that's kind of what we do. Even if we did see the storm coming, we don't pray then for help. We usually wait until the storm is already there and we're drowning and we're like, now save us. And sometimes we don't even say it nicely. Sometimes we're like, oh, come on, are you gonna save me or what? And see, I don't know about you guys, but when my child talks to me like that, I usually say, no, I'm not. Thank you. I'll just sit right here and you can figure it out yourself. But God bless, Jesus is not like that. He's never like that. God is a way better parent than me. And he saves us anyways. And he says, of course I wasn't going to let you drown. Of course not. But you did have to come to me and ask me. You know, I wasn't going to let you drown. I mean, look how easy it was for him. The winds and the waves obeyed him. He didn't really probably have to talk for them to obey him. But we did have to ask for help. We had to come to him. We had to seek him out. And it was going to be all right. And that song Eric sang was so good. I listened to that song because Eric played it on a loop back from Lafayette last night because he was going to sing it. And he's like, well, I like this song, but I've heard it maybe once. So I'm just going to play it on a loop. So I heard that song a lot. And then Eric practiced it over and over again, heard it a lot. And never once did it really occur to me what it was saying, or that it matched perfectly with what I was saying until he was singing it just now, and like tears, you know? But the minute that he was singing it, I just realized, you know, that's kind of what we're talking about here. When we are filled with that doubt and that fear and no faith, and we're worried about whatever it is, couches or a storm, whatever it may be, it says, in this wasteland where I'm living, there's just a crack of light. There's a door cracked with just a little light. But that's all I need to get by. And that's something that I think that we're looking for something really obvious. We were looking for God to just bust down the door and save us like dramatically, like Superman. But we don't need that. All we needed was just a little crack of light. And we just had little faith, you know. We didn't have enough faith to get through. But if God is on our side, who can be against us? You know? Not even the storm could be against us. Not even like the earth itself could turn against us, because God is more powerful than everything, than all of it. And even if we don't have a lot of faith, He's still always going to be there to save us. And every time He will save us, and then He'll remind us, hey, you just got to ask me for help. And then we'll mess up again, and we'll have a little faith, and then He'll save us again. Because He is greater than we ever could be. So I'm going to pray for you guys. Dear God, I thank You.